asthma? Yes. At least, do we have medicine for many diseases? Yes, for almost every disease, we have some medicine. Death is also a disease. Do we have any medicine? That is how we help our mind to evolve and rise in consciousness. Do I have any medicine for death? No. We normally say, you see, that I have to change my mindset. If I don't change my mindset, it is not going to work because we use the same mindset in our perception and experiences in daily life, and that is not going to help us. Okay, we have discussed that we don't have any medicine for the dead. Now, there is a common belief that if you take a drug, it will form a habit, and that is what is known as drug addiction. Very good. Yeah, we understand it. That is how the science looks the half part of it. We don't want to contemplate and reflect. Okay, so there will be a habit formation, and no habit is good. Do you agree? Say yes. So we have.
There is good habits and bad habits.
Yeah. So now categorize under good or bad habit. What about hunger? I eat today, I have to eat tomorrow, day after. That is also a habit. Sleep is also a habit. I know what you are going to say, and I have an answer for that. So, our Eastern wisdom master categorizes that this hunger and the death is also a disease, and you don't have any medicine. You don't have any medicine. Now, there is one more disease. Since the moment we are born, there is a growth, then we become adult in youth and old age, and then die. So there is a constant progression of the body. We are eating the same stuff. This is also a disease. No, no, no. How can you say this is a disease? This is natural. This comes from the nature. If your answer is this, many things comes from the nature, we don't accept it. Sleep, okay, I agree with you that nature. And but still you get disturbances in the sleep. If it is coming from the nature, then why you disturb it? Why you color your hairs? Why you do the plastic surgery on the face? It also comes from the nature, the old age. Why? It is from the nature. It is from the nature that your sensual desire has decreased, but still your sense organs are very active. That is also comes from the nature. Think of it. The lion I was watching the Discovery Channel last week. Two young lions fought with the old one, halted, and now the old lion was separated from the group, and two young lions took over all the females. Now this old lion, ultimately, he will wait. He will be near the herd. Whenever anything is left, he will eat and he will die. So if you say that is natural, why don't you follow the nature? So our master says, I have to contemplate and reflect again and again on those challenges which we do not call as a disease. Death is a disease. Hunger is a disease. Pain is a disease. Pleasure is a disease. So, what is Eastern wisdom? Just to treat all these diseases. that is what that is what the hunger, pain, even the pleasure is a disease. Pleasure, death, suffering are all diseases. It came to my mind. I'm just writing that.
So life is disease.
Yes, you are coming to a good point. Is life disease? Is life a disease? Then the question comes, what is life? If we answer clearly what is life, then yes, we can say yes or no.
But life is prarabdha.
Yeah, just make it very simple. The life in the we were alive in the womb of the mother, and we are alive now. So that was also a life in the womb of the mother. Was that life a disease? Or this life a disease? Think of it. Master created these principles in such a beautiful way. So the life was in the life. I was in the womb of the mother, so one life was in the life of another person. Yes, that seems to be true. Then what exactly is this life? So we have a question. Is this life of a body or breath or mind or intellect or ego? That is the bigger question. It is none of them.
None of them. Yeah.
That needs to be contemplated and reflective. When it is none of them, then do I die? That is what I want to discover. If I'm not the body, then I don't take birth and I don't die. So I should have a right experience. I should experience or I should realize that I'm not the body. See that? If I realize, and experience what? That I am not the body, I am not even the hunger, I am not even the breath, I am not even the intellect and ego, then I found a solution. Then question comes, who am I? That is why the entire journey of Eastern wisdom, who am I? What is the word? What is the God? And how I think, speak, and act in permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. I'm just giving a glimpse of it. So, if I realize an experience, I have gone to that level. Okay. So, let us go. If I experience and realize, this is what I said. I'm going with the cause and effect. So, ask you so that what you experience now, whatever comes to the mind, all experiences takes place in the mind. Oh, that is, oh, all experiences takes place in the mind. That is one. It is just coming instantly, so that's why I'm writing it. So all experiences are taking place in the mind. So all experience is perception and knowledge. Obviously. So I have to check. I have to check if my or perception, knowledge or perception is right or wrong. How simple. You meet me and I get angry. So I have to check my experiences. I have not to start searching that you are responsible for my anger. I have to search myself that how my mind experienced anger, hatred, jealousy, duality, and a conflict while living in the world. All experiences takes place in the mind, of which we are 100% sure. Just see that. All experiences, whether it's a hunger, anger, agitation, takes place in the mind by which I form an idea what is life, huh? What is my goal, what I do, what should I do not do, that is what. But I'm not clear. I'm not clear. So I'm not clear, I suffer from ignorance. So when I ask myself that how dare you make me upset, is it ever possible? Answer is no. I will not be dictated and influenced by you. Simple. Mind has this ability. The intellect has this ability. It is absent in animals, but we have an ability, the human intellect, or you can say that is why we say it is a free will. I'm not influenced and dictated by any outer situation. It is possible. Is it possible not to be influenced by anything from the world? Answer is yes, it is possible. So if it is possible, then I go beyond all experiences. All experiences are objective experiences. My mind is now the objectless state. That objectless state is the meditation. That is why the highest practice in Eastern wisdom is known as meditation. Just be very clear. If you have doubts, let me. So you go beyond all experiences means you go beyond objective reality. How simple it is. You go beyond objective reality. So when you go beyond objective reality, that means that now the mind is in the objectless state. So it will reflect the real self. Now it is a mirror and awakening has taken place. Finished. That is the journey.
But I still see the object outside, so my sense organ is working.
Yes, two options. I still see the object outside and it has to be functional. If it is not functional, I cannot realize my real self. All sense organs, mind, intellect, it has to be functional. What I am saying, it is not influenced. I look at the wall, I am not influenced. I see it is white in color or cream in color, the fan is moving, the computer screen is there. What do you mean by not influenced? It does not create any impression. It keeps the memory, or it is not hurting me. The wall is there, okay. You are there, it's okay. It has to be functional. Because if it is not functional, then I'm not aware of the world, then I don't get any experience. If the mind is not getting any experience, then I cannot think of that, is there any state beyond it? So it is required. That is why the God has given all the five sense organs and the mind and the intellect. It is already given to us. So we have no choice. In a waking state, we are aware of all the objects of the five sense organs. So what happens in deep sleep? Can I say that even in deep sleep, I know all the objects, I know my house, I know my honey? Or in the dream state? I don't know. Oh, yes, in dream state, there is a dream body. There is a dream event, which is different than the world of waking state. And in sleep, there are no experiences as such of the world outside, of the object. Think, contemplate, reflect. Oh, yes. Then, oh, yes, sleep is also an experience of the mind. Dream is also an experience of the mind. The waking state is also an experience of the mind. All experiences takes place in the mind. That is why I know that I had a good sleep. I dreamt, or now I'm in a waking state. Think, masters. Ah, that is the beauty and genius of the Eastern wisdom. They want to know who is the experiencer. And if the mind is the experiencer, you have a problem. Why? The mind is an experiencer. The mind is limited. Limited means it borrows its consciousness, borrows from the real self, one, and this mind has to experience ultimately by processing the information through the sense organ. And every sense organ is limited.
mind service only ego.
Yes, that is one aspect. Mind processes the knowledge or perception. First, that part, perception by the senses. And all the senses are limited. All the senses are limited. Another part that you have rightly added, this mind processes the information by ego or false I, or you can say by I thought in the mind, by I thought in the intellect. Because when I search who is the experiences, I say the I thought. And that I thought is absent in sleep, that's why. You see that I thought, because the intellect is not available there. Think. So it means I reach to a point where I recognize the I thought in the intellect that creates a fantastic idea that I am the body and the breath, hence I am alive. And because if the body will not remain, I will die. You see, this is second experience. Mind imagines the experience. Then the mind says, I have lot of desires to be fulfilled in this life. That desire causes the attachment and duality and a conflict. And that is how I continue to think, speak, and act in the world with the false I, and I never think that even the hunger is a disease, even the death is a disease. I have no solution of this. And I'm caught in ignorance. That is why the Buddha said, the entire world that I have created based on my perception or experiences is the cause of the suffering. This is another way to put it. Now just imagine for a moment. Imagine. I'm not saying that that is the last part of the journey. Just imagine. You block all experiences of the mind until now. What is left in the mind? What is left in the mind? I wanted to teach something else, but this thought came to me. So then I started. What is left in the mind? There is no object. Because mind always have experiences with an object.
Yes, no objects, no mind.
So no object, no mind, whether you say no object, no mind, or whether you say it is the objectless state of the mind, that very objectless state of the mind is what the real self is. Now the mind is not active. The moment the mind is active, it is objective. That objectless state. So it means the entire journey. That is why the Patanjali says, what Patanjali says, what is yoga? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Now he says it directly. He is such a great master. Patanjali says, what is yoga? Empty all contents of the mind. Just for understanding, all contents of the mind. In the third, he says, then you are settled in the real self. Third sutra. Patanjali's third sutra. You are settled in the real self. Finished. Journey is finished. So he is referring that objectless state as emptying the mind. What is my thought? 5 types of the thought. This is my experience. Thought with an object. I object plus I have a knowledge of an object plus I have a thought plus consciousness. This is what the experience is. This is what the perception is. Think. We have to think in this way. Who am I? Oh, I'm a professor, I'm a business. No, no. This is my experience coming from the mind. Mind has given a label. That is how the society works. I'm married. There is something sticking to your body or the mind so that you claim you are married? Based on the false experiences created by the I thought, and that is why perhaps in India, those who got married should have a red powder placed in the, and now they have created a design. They put it very smaller here, the smaller here. Before that, there was a very long. It goes in between the hairs on each side. Think. We have reached to the Patanjali. Patanjali says, yoga is emptying the mind of its content. In the third sutra, tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. It means now mind is centered in the real self. It means objectless state, mind is no more. So it is only the real self. Otherwise, in the fourth sutra, the Patanjali says, otherwise, if that state is not reached, what that state? If I fail to block all the experiences that was taking place in the mind, I continue to live in ignorance. Ready sarupyam itaratraha, that is the fourth one. First 4 sutras of the first chapter is the entire summary of the East and West. So now other questions also come. So, okay, now I have understood what you tell me. Our mind says, oh, I have understood. So what should I do? So the first question comes. What is the first question comes? I'm just doing it. What is the first question comes? That, okay, I have understood. So how should I discern or separate? How should I discern or separate experiences of the mind from the experiences of the real self? Now see that.
No, real self cannot have experience.
Yes.
Only mind can have experience.
Mind have experiences, so that much is clear. It means I can discern all the experiences taking place in the mind. But how can I discern unless I know the properties of this false I? What are the properties of the false I? It is limited. It is constantly changing. Today you are my honey. Tomorrow you are my enemy. Both are experiences of the mind. I neither I neither dated you nor I hated you. So my mind is still calm. Just for example. think, think. Both are experiences of the mind. In one situation, at one time, I dated. Dated means total obsession and attachment and love. Okay, I will do everything for you. And after a few years, I cannot do anything for you. I will throw you out if I have more power. Both are experiences of the mind.
Yes, and both of them is show you that you have ego, have object and
Yes.
relationship between.
Yes,
and
you're.
This relationship in between is the mind.
Is the mind. I can only know what is or you can say the false I. Whether you say it is the false I, whether you say it is the ignorant mind. Ignorant mind means the false I. Delusion means that I see the delusion. It means the false I. What is the delusion? I want to achieve happiness from any object, from any relation, event, long list.
But what we can do, we can only watch what's happened.
That is one step to the journey. And second, because the mind is creating all the experiences, so I have to take care of the mind that creates an experiences and puts me into the lower consciousness, anger, hesitation, attachment, duality, conflict, so that I can continue to live in a higher awareness, and that higher awareness, through that higher awareness, I can reach to the objectless state. I cannot reach to the objectless state by the lower consciousness, which consists of the impure states of the mind. It has nothing to do with ethics. It has nothing to do with any morality. It has nothing to do with any release. Forget about everything. Prarabdha. Example. Very, very, very deep example. Very common example. Prarabdha. Created an obsession or attachment to the opposite sex. Just say that. Created an obsession to the opposite sex. Very good. So let us get married. Now I have already done one mistake. So I have to keep in my mind that this marriage is happening because of my sexual desire to be fulfilled. What will happen after that? I should also reflect on at the age of the 80 and the 90, should I continue to have this desire? No. Do I have that sexual desire 24/7 on a given day? No. It comes and it goes. Even if you say it comes by nature. A couple of years ago, I read a crazy news coming from a Japanese scientist. Say that if you do the sex every day, you can manage your stress and anxiety. You are doing sex in anxiety. because that is impulsive desire. Any impulsive desire must have a content of anxiety. How can you get rid of that anxiety by doing this sex act? It was a very good, I recalled, I read it and I said, that's quite interesting. And then I reflected on it and I said, it is not possible. So, what your mind is blocking, one layer of the experiences, blocking means it is putting it into the ignorance. See that? It is putting itself into the ignorance, and the second set of the act which you praise and appreciate. So it is so simple. People appreciate drugs, so they become drug addicts. See that? People appreciate family and they sacrifice their entire life for the family. People appreciate country, they sacrifice their entire life for the family, for the country. People sacrifice their life for same-sex marriage and they claim that they are happy. They don't see the other side of the picture. People sacrifice one set of the thought for the rest of it, that I should have $1 million in my account. So this sacrificing is again the impurity of the mind. It comes by creating a false sense of desire in the form of the thought and force the mind to have the similar experience. It is not going to work. It is not working. Elon Musk, the richest guy, who is highly scared. Oh, somebody is going to shoot me. He openly said in an interview. So, yes, going back, so it means at least I should know what are my falsi and its experiences. So I need a discernment. So when I need to do the discernment, I realize the false do not exist. It is caused by the delusion. But I can still say I am. So it means there is something, I have some glimpse of it. So Master says that you can discern maybe 10-15 minutes when the teacher is talking to you, but how can you remain in that state? So the masters have analyzed the 4 types of seekers. Now you see that. So I have to check which kind of a seeker I am and how to become the highest seeker. Then again the simple question is asked that what are the requisites to become a seeker? 4 connections. Do you see that? No, but how to keep the mind in that state? My mind forgets that. Mangalacharan. Understand so clearly so that your mind instantly answers, I'm into anxiety, Mangalacharan, let me do it first. So the discernment is also applied. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. So let everyone be happy. So you are in anxiety, duality, conflict because of some event has taken place outside. Now you're seeing that You are coining other thoughts. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Oh, you recognize my mind. You are making me crazy. I should not be influenced by any outer event. My mind is influenced because of the false I. Oh, I got it. Let me enter into peace. When? Here and now. I do not start managing my hatred or anger or hesitation. You cannot manage them. So when you recognize it is coming from the mind, all the experiences, very recognition takes you to the objectless state of it for a few seconds. And meditation extends that period. Meditation extends that period when how long it is infinite. Why infinite? Then the meditation and the very real self is one. You don't need to practice. You live into the subjective reality, and first time you recognize what exactly is the life. Go back again. Then I recognize, oh, this life is a manifestation of the consciousness which was present in the womb of the mother after my parents met together. But before that, what is before that? I'm summarizing totally in a different way. What is before that? So that consciousness was in the womb of the mother? Yes, no doubt. I was alive. I was alive in the womb of the mother. Very good. Agree to that? Understood that? Yes, I agree and understood that. We have to ask, was consciousness present before that baby in the womb of the mother or after that? Or you can say the real self was present. Very serious discussion where was present before fertilization, if you say, or after.
No, consciousness exists always. It's
always, yes.
Never change.
It never changed.
The material part is manifesting.
Material part. So even if I think that consciousness was not present and the consciousness entered into the fertilized egg, then who is aware of that? That very awareness is the consciousness. So I have to be present before the fertilization of the egg. So hence the consciousness is always present and it is all pervading. By such complex process that we will talk later, masters have already answered. So by such complex process, that consciousness, as if we recognize, enters into that fertilized egg, and I was alive. I was alive in the womb of the mother because the very life is a manifestation of the consciousness. It is not the manifestation of matter. If the life is the manifestation of the matter, then we can have a life in the iron, in the steel, we can have life in the mercury, we can have life in the sun, in the moon, and all that, which is not there. It is evident to us. Do you see the
I
Mangalacharan?
say it's not correct question. Am I exist before born?
Yes,
No,
yes. Do,
because
do I exist before birth?
I exist like consciousness, but not like
Yes.
body,
Yes.
intellect, and everything.
The body, breath, mind, intellect, you can say it is a guest house and a motel. And I'm living into that guest house for years already, destined by the prarabdha, which I claim as me and my life, is wrong. Yes, you're raising a very good question. So, another thing, do I exist before? Yes. How that looks like? Nameless, formless consciousness. So, do you mean to say that once I have a body, now I exist as body and the mind? No. I still continue to exist as a consciousness. But because of the ignorance, I identify myself with the body and the breath and falsely start claiming I am the body and the breath, and in relationship to the body and the breath, I am existing. How can you say anything exists? Means that if that is constantly changing, has to depend on the existence. And that existence is known as the Sat. Truth means truth. That is the first word, Sat Chit Anand.
And this existence consists knowledge, how to
Yes, yes. Knowledge or
manipulate.
consciousness. You have to see the consciousness and knowledge are basically one. Knowledge is a manifestation outside, and wisdom is already in that consciousness. I'm conscious, yes. That is why I'm aware of you. If consciousness is not there, I'm not aware of you. I don't know anything. So, because of that awareness, the entire world exists for me. If I'm not aware in deep sleep, that consciousness is the real self. So, I exist because of the existence, and because that existence is a conscious entity. So, hence, very existence is consciousness. And because it is consciousness, it is also the knowledge. And because it is all pervading, it is only one thing, and very important point. And I like myself the most. That's a normal experience we all have. I always like myself, hence I always love myself. So I happiness is within me because I find happiness by loving myself. I can love my honey today. I can divorce my honey tomorrow. Why? Because I love myself more than you. Little difficult to contemplate and reflect, but this is what the entire scenario of the life is. I love myself. I love you because I love myself.
Yeah, I understand this.
And if I recognize this, I love you because I love myself, it simply means I love myself the most. Next question comes that how come I love myself the most? I love myself the most because it gives me infinite, unbound happiness. Because it gives me unbound happiness, I'm going there. Because it gives me infinite happiness, so the mind knows a bit of it. It is not fully known by the mind. That if it is, it is known little bit. That is why I'm searching happiness outside. So something is definitely known to the mind.
Yeah, mind looking for real self because it want happiness. But
Yes, it wants happiness.
sense organ go to outside because this mind looking it outside.
Yes, yes. So it starts looking. So mind knows it that there is some happiness. There is some happiness. So the master says that is of the nature of ananda, happiness. Existence is happiness. Whether we say simply existence, it means Satchidanand. Whether we say consciousness, it also means the same Satchidanand. Whether we say Ananda or the infinite happiness, that too is the happiness. But what happens while the mind starts searching outside, it has to search by claiming that I am the body.
Because consciousness is complete, but when it enters to the limited body, he feels that it's limited and he is trying to reach the completeness.
It's trying to. How can the incomplete reach to the completeness? It cannot reach. It cannot attain. It cannot attain. But paradox logic works here. The scientific logic comes to an end. What is paradox logic? The drop of water, when it falls into an ocean, it becomes an ocean. So that is why we say don't stop searching happiness outside. Search within yourself. So you reach to a deep meditative state where we say the meditator and the object of meditation merge together. That merging is nothing but the water becomes a drop of water becomes an ocean. Ramakrishna used to say a doll made up of the salt went into the ocean to search the depth of an ocean. It never returned back. So we all are the salt doll, searching for happiness. So the entire journey of sadhana Panchkam to turn our minds so that we start searching our real self or the ocean and forget the rest. Keep on searching, searching, and time comes that salt doll that falls out. Once it takes a once it jumps into an ocean, it will never come back. It cannot come back. Finished, done. Mind exists, mind do not exist because of their existence. So the mind feels that I'm incomplete in myself. Now, because I want to be complete, and hence the mind starts searching something that makes me complete without knowing and understanding that anything coming from outside cannot make me complete. If shirt has a wear and the tear, I can stretch it, but still I don't feel that sense of completeness of the shirt. It is not possible. Only by searching the completeness and the whole consciousness, I can get rid of these limitations. That is another way to understand this sadhana.